You framed her? You planted every dollar to send an innocent mother to prison just for your shopping sprees? Roman Whitaker's voice shattered the storm-lashed rooftop, lightning illuminating the fury on his face as the Potomac raged below. Brooke Whitaker staggered back, rain ruining her couture. "She's nothing but a pretty maid, Dad. You're choosing her over your own daughter?" Marisol Delgado stood drenched but unbroken, uniform clinging, holding the laptop like a weapon of truth. "I've cleaned up after your lies for 3 years, Miss Brooke. Tonight the whole world sees who the real thief is." Roman slammed play. The massive screen ignited with 4K footage. Brooke's own hands stuffing cash and jewelry into Mari's locker, whispering venom. Thunder applauded. Brooke screamed into the wind. And in that electric moment, with D.C. drowning in rain and revelation, nobody knew the real flood was just beginning. Roman Whitaker's life was a carefully constructed fortress. At 57, widowed 5 years after losing his wife to cancer, he ran Whitaker Defense Systems, a $15 billion giant that built guidance systems for drones circling half the globe. His DuPont Circle headquarters gleamed like a monument itself. Marble floors that reflected the Capitol Dome on clear days, executive suites with views of the National Mall, security tighter than the Pentagon. But lately, cracks appeared. First $8,000 missing from the executive cash reserve, then $15,000. Then $50,000 in banded hundreds vanished from the biometric safe only 3 people had access to. Roman's paranoia, honed by decades of boardroom betrayals and a partner who once fled to Dubai with company secrets, zeroed in on the night crew. Especially one member. Marisol Delgado, everyone called her. Mari was 28, single mom, first-generation Salvadoran American born in D.C. after her parents fled the Civil War. She was breathtaking. Long raven hair usually braided for work, golden caramel skin, curves that made even jaded executives forget their words, eyes, the color of warm café con leche, that held quiet strength and endless kindness. She worked nights to be with her 6-year-old daughter Luz during the day, lived in a tiny apartment in Columbia Heights, shopped sales at the Harris Teeter on Colorama for rice, beans, and whatever protein was marked down. Roman had always noticed her smile in passing, how she hummed old Selena songs while polishing glass that cost more per pane than her weekly pay. One Friday evening, as a monsoon-level storm battered the city, Roman stepped out for his driver and saw her. Mari huddled under the flimsy awning of the Harris Teeter on 14th Street, soaked to the bone, eating half a discounted sub from the deli case, saving the other half in a plastic bag, no coat, no umbrella, shivering but checking her phone with a soft smile, probably a photo from Luz. Something twisted in Roman's chest. He told his driver to circle the block. That night he installed ultra-high-def hidden cameras himself, military-grade, cloud-linked, invisible. The first alert came at 2:47 a.m. Roman watched live from his empty Georgetown mansion, fireplace crackling. Mari entered the executive floor alone, pushing her cart, singing softly in Spanish. She stopped at his office safe. Roman's heart stopped. But Mari didn't take money. She opened her worn tote bag and pulled out thick envelopes, her own cash, earned from double shifts and weekend catering gigs with her tia. She added them carefully. For Mama's radiation copay, $1,200. For Luz's school supplies and uniform, $450. For the Ramirez family, immigration lawyer deposit. For the church shelter teens, $800. She whispered a prayer over each, kissed her fingers, touched the safe like a blessing, then closed it gently. Then she mopped the floor until it shone, humming Beady Beady Bomb Bomb like nothing had happened. Roman sat frozen until dawn, tears he hadn't shed since his wife's funeral streaming down his face. The woman he suspected of stealing was the secret angel keeping half the building's struggling families alive. The next morning, Roman anonymously paid every bill Mari had covered tenfold through fake charities and left 2 $1,000 Harris Teeter gift cards in her locker with a note. For the real heroes, Mari used every cent on others and posted a thank you prayer on the employee board. But when Brooke arrived from NYC demanding Roman sell the company for her inheritance cash out, she saw the cameras, the gifts, and decided a pretty immigrant janitor was the perfect fall guy. Brooke Whitaker arrived like a hurricane in Chanel. 31, influencer famous for yacht parties and old money aesthetic reels. She lived off daddy's dividends while burning through millions on private jets and designer dogs. She needed Roman to sell Whitaker Defense fast because her latest crypto investment had tanked and creditors were circling. Roman refused. This company is all I have left of your mother's dream, too. So Brooke went scorched earth. She started with whispers, "Daddy, things keep going missing on night shift." Then she staged disappearances. AirPods, a Patek watch, cash from the Employee Sunshine Fund. Finally, the masterstroke. One night, she slipped into the building, disguised hoodie, gloves, face masked, caught on camera but identity concealed. She planted $50,000, marked bills, and her mother's priceless diamond earrings, the ones from Roman's wedding, inside Mari's locker. Next morning, she orchestrated a random security audit. Guards opened the locker. Cash and diamonds tumbled out. Mari was escorted to HR in tears. "I swear on my daughter's life, mister." "Whitaker, I've never touched anything that wasn't trash to throw away." Brooke stood behind Roman, fake sobbing. "Daddy, she's been playing us all. Fire her. Call the police." Roman's hand trembled over the phone. Mari looked up, mascara, running but dignity intact. "Check your hidden cameras, sir. The ones only you know about. The truth is always there if you look close enough." That night, Roman watched 72 hours of footage in fast forward. Enhanced AI zoom revealed Brooke's signature rose gold nails and the small infinity tattoo on her wrist as she planted everything. The thief wasn't the janitor, it was his own flesh and blood. Roman didn't sleep for 3 days. He paid Mari's rent anonymously, covered her mother's next treatment, made sure Luz had a nanny while her mom fought false accusations. Then he summoned both women to the rooftop at midnight, same storm system returning, rain sheeting sideways, thunder growling like divine anger. Brooke arrived in diamonds and denial. Mari arrived in her soaked uniform because it was all she had left clean, hair wild, eyes fierce. Roman locked the access door. "Brooke," he said, voice deadly calm, "tell Marisol why you tried to send her to prison for 10 years. Brooke laughed nervously. "You've lost your mind, Dad. She's a—" Roman hit play on the 100-inch weatherproof screen. Crystal clear footage. Brooke breaking in, planting evidence, whispering, "Bye-bye company sale resistance once Daddy thinks his little maid is a thief." Brooke lunged for the remote. Security emerged from the shadows, 2 ex-Marines Roman trusted with his life. Roman's voice finally shattered. "You would destroy a woman who sells her blood plasma to pay for strangers' medicine just so you can buy another Birkin? Your mother is spinning in her grave." Mari stepped forward, rain and tears mixing. "I never wanted your money, Miss Brooke. I just wanted to keep my family breathing and help others do the same. You have everything the world says matters, and it still wasn't enough for you." Lightning illuminated Brooke's crumbling facade. Brooke screamed into the storm. "She's manipulating you! Classic pretty immigrant sob story." Mari's reply cut sharper than the wind. "The only manipulator here is the one who stole from her own father, while a janitor gave away her last dollar to feed children." Brooke, cornered, dropped the ultimate bomb. "I've been taking from the safe for years, Dad, since Mom died. You were too busy working to notice. This Latina was just convenient." Roman staggered as if punched. His daughter had been bleeding him dry for a decade while Mari had been quietly healing everyone around her. 8 weeks later. The same rooftop, now transformed into a slice of paradise. Thousands of fairy lights twinkled like captured stars. Live banda music mixed with R&B. Selena covers blending with Bad Bunny remixes. Tables groaned under mountains of pupusas, tamales, enchiladas, suizas, tres leches cakes, and fresh ceviche from Mari's favorite Salvadoran and Mexican spots around D.C. The air smelled like home, love, and second chances. Over 400 people filled the space. Every employee, Mari's entire extended family flown in from El Salvador, the immigrant families she'd helped now dressed in their Sunday best, homeless teens from the mall with new haircuts and hope in their eyes, news crews from Telemundo, Univision, and CNN en Español. Even a few congresspeople who suddenly cared about community heroes. An expentor, and at the center, radiant as the sunrise, stood Marisol Delgado, no longer in a janitor's uniform, but a custom white gown embroidered with Salvadoran flowers, hair in loose waves crowned with fresh jasmine, looking every bit the queen she'd always been inside. Roman Whitaker took the stage in a simple guayabera shirt, respect for Mari's roots, voice thick with emotion that money could never buy. "Tonight isn't about Whitaker defense systems," he began. "It's about a 8-year-old woman who taught a broken old billionaire what the word family really means." He turned to Mari. "Marisol Delgado, you came to this country as a baby in your mother's arms, fleeing war. You grew up translating bills for your parents, working nights so your daughter could have days full of light. You gave away food you needed, money you earned with blisters, time you didn't have because someone else hurt more." The crowd was already crying. "You stood in pouring rain, eating half a sandwich so teenagers wouldn't go hungry. You sold your own jewelry to pay for a coworker's funeral. You prayed over envelopes of cash you placed in my safe like offerings at church." Roman's voice cracked completely. "And when my own daughter tried to destroy you, you still showed up with grace." He dropped to one knee slowly, reverently in front of the entire city skyline. "Marisol, you are now co-chief executive officer of Whitaker Community Foundation, a $500 million endowment seeded tonight. Full voting seat on the board, equity worth more than most countries' GDPs. The roar was deafening. He handed her an ornate key on a gold chain shaped like El Salvador's map. "This is to a 15-bedroom estate in Woodley Park, big enough for your mama, your daughter, your brother, every cousin, and any child who needs a bed and a dream. Paid off forever. Has." Mari's hands flew to her face, sobs shaking her shoulders. Her daughter Luz ran up in a tiny flower girl dress, yelling, "Mommy, does this mean we get a pool?" The rooftop exploded in laughter and tears. Roman continued, voice raw. "Your mother's cancer treatment? Top oncologists at Johns Hopkins, experimental therapies, private jet transport covered for life. Luz's education? Full ride to any university on Earth, trust fund that grows with inflation forever." He stood, pulled Mari into the kind of hug only family earns. "You didn't just save lives with your kindness. You saved mine from becoming the very thing I hated. Cold, empty, alone at the top. Brooke, federal indictment for fraud, embezzlement, conspiracy. Living quietly in a Midwest suburb now, influencer career canceled. Later, when the music slowed and the city sparkled below like a promise kept, Mari found Roman watching the fireworks from a Nationals game light the sky. "You gave me a fairy tale I never dared dream," she whispered. He smiled, eyes shining. "No, Mari. You reminded me fairy tales are built by people who give when they have nothing left. You were the magic all along." She took his hand, two survivors who'd found family in the storm. Fireworks painted the sky red, white, blue, and gold. Mari laughed through happy tears. "Diosito has perfect timing." Roman nodded. "Yeah, and tonight, he's showing off." The end. Moral of the story. Real wealth isn't measured in safes or stock prices. It's measured in the meals you share when you're hungry, the tears you wipe when nobody sees, the love you give when your own tank is empty. Never judge a woman by her job title or her accent. Some of the richest souls on earth push cleaning carts at night and carry the world on their backs by choice. Now flood those comments. Have you ever given your last dollar to someone who needed it more? Ever been misjudged because of your job, your looks, or where you're from? Ever seen kindness completely change someone's life? Drop your story. I read every single one. Promise. If this one had you crying in the rain and dancing under fireworks, smash that like until it hurts. Subscribe, hit the bell, share with every mama, every dreamer, every beautiful soul holding the world together. We out here choosing corazon over cash. See you in the next one. Bendiciones y amor.